Hey friends, today we are doing the TryHackMe room W1se Guy. In this challenge, we are going to connect to a server. That server is hiding a flag, and to protect it, it scrambles the flag using a secret key and it sends us the scrambled version. Our job is simple. Figure out the secret key, send it back, and the server hands us the real flag. The technique it uses to do the scrambling is called XOR. Sounds scary, I know, I promise it's not. By the end of this video, you are going to completely understand it and you will also use it. But first, if you're new here, hi, I'm Eva, and together with TryHackMe, we are here to make sure cybersecurity is accessible and fun for everyone. And yes, that includes you. Whether you're brand new to security or you've been playing with TryHackMe for a while, you will have fun today. That is my promise to you. Now wait, what is XOR anyways? Don't worry. Let me walk you through the basics first, okay? And I'll keep it super simple. Think of XOR like a light switch. If the light is off and I flip it, it turns on. If the light is on and I flip it the same way, it turns off. The same action, opposite result, depending on what you started with. XOR works the same way, but with data. You take a character, you scramble it with a key, and you get something different. But if you take that different unreadable thing and apply the same key again, you get the original character back. That's it. That's XOR. The key scrambles it, the same key unscrambles it. This is a very simple explanation, but it's what clicked for me when I was first learning about XOR years ago, because it can get really complex. Okay, now that you know how this works, let's get into it. Okay, so let's dive into it now that we understand and we know the basics, we know what we're doing. The first task is to download the task files, which will give us the source code that we need before we move forward. So I've already done that because I really don't want to make you wait, and I will go ahead and press check because I've completed this task. And now let's walk through the source code that we downloaded. Okay, let's read through the code together. Don't worry about memorizing anything. I just want you to see what the server is doing so that when we solve it, nothing feels like magic, because we're all learning here, right? First up, the imports. This is just the server setting itself up. The last line is the important one. It's reading the real flag from a file called flag.txt. And that's the flag we want. But we can't just grab it directly. We have to go through the server to get it. Next, the setup function. This is the big one. Notice something immediately. The flag inside this function is not the real flag. It's a fake one. THM, this is fake flag. The server is hard coding this fake flag to encrypt and send to us. We'll come back to why that matters in a second. The loop is where the encryption actually happens. It goes through every single character of that fake flag one by one. For each character, it takes the number value of that flag character, XORs it with the number value of the matching key character, and converts the result back into a character. The key repeats. If the flag is 19 characters long and the key is only 5 characters, the key just cycles around and starts over until it covers the whole flag. Then the last two lines of this function convert everything into hexadecimal so it can be sent over the network as a readable text. The encode part converts our characters into bytes using UTF-8, and for everything in this challenge, plain letters, numbers, curly braces, every single character is exactly 1 byte. 1 character, 1 byte, perfectly lined up. That matters because it means our math will work cleanly when we reverse it. Now the start function. This is where the key gets made. The server randomly generates a 5-character key, letters and numbers only. It uses that key to encrypt the fake flag and sends us the result. Then it asks us one question: what is the encryption key? And finally, the check. If we get the key right, the server sends us flag 2, the real flag. the one sitting in that file we couldn't touch directly. So let's think about what we just learned from reading this. The server is encrypting a fake flag that we already know. We know it starts with THM open curly brace and it ends with a closing curly brace. The key is 5 characters long and XOR works both ways. If we know what a character looked like before it was scrambled, we can reverse it to find a key. 4 characters from the front, 1 from the end, that's all 5. Let's go get that flag. Are you ready? Okay, so now that we've reviewed the code, let's go ahead and go to task 2 and actually get the flags. Okay, so here I've already started the virtual machine, but you're just going to click the green button and you're going to start yours and you're going to see the exact same experience. Now, it may take a few minutes, so please be patient. That's why I pre-started it, because I wanted to make sure that I don't make you wait. If you want to pause this video, I will be right here patiently waiting for you when you come back so we can continue together, okay? I don't want anybody to feel alone. So let's go ahead and start our terminal here. The tasks is telling us that the server is listening on port 1337 via TCP and we can connect via Netcat. I know this sounds very, very scary, but don't worry, we got this. Netcat is essentially just a tool that is helping us connect to different machines, different servers via a network, okay? And so here we have the target IP address. So I'm gonna copy that and I will use the netcat command is nc and then I will give it my IP. Now, if this is the first time you using command line, you may be wondering, what the heck is happening here? Don't worry, I got you. So an IP is essentially an address of a machine. It could be a server or it could be a client. It gives me the address of what I'm looking for. If you think about the real physical world, if you want to go to your friend's house, you're probably going to need their address, right? So this is the same thing. This is giving me the address of my server. Now we also need the port, because if you go to your friend's house, let's just say your friend has 10 different doors, maybe they're ultra fancy, and your friend is going to tell you which door you can walk in through because the other ones might be closed, right? It's the same thing. Think of it as your port as telling you, well, which door is open. The server is listening on port 1337. So that's why we're going to do this, okay? So this is telling Netcat, go find me this address and this port. We're gonna run this, and guess what? We've got the XOR encoded text flag. Okay, so let's go ahead and copy our encoded text, which has the flag 1, and we need to find the encryption key. And now we already reviewed in the code that we need to decode from hexadecimals and also have the operation, which is XOR. So I'm going to line this up in CyberChef. I have used CyberChef, and we already know the key is going to be an UTF character. I have used CyberChef many times in these walkthroughs. If this is the first time you use CyberChef, please bookmark it. This is the Swiss Army knife for data manipulation of any sort. It does encryption, decryption, and really it's such a robust data management tool, widely used by security professionals. And please save it. It's completely free to use. Bookmark this because we are going to be using it in future walkthroughs, and there are going to be so many rooms in TryHackMe that are going to need this or can be solved with this tool. So now I'm going to go ahead and paste this in my input, and the output at first looks really weird and jambly, but there is one thing that we already know. Remember, we already know that our key is 5 characters, and we already know what are the descrambled or the real flag characters after the key. So now, since we have that, remember, we have to put what we know here, and we are going to be able to derive what that key is. So we have the first 4 characters and the last one is a V. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy this and add the last character. So here's the flag. We were able to use what we know. This is like a math equation where we're looking for the X, right? We use the information that we know to find the missing piece, which is, in this case, is our key. Let's go ahead and say, what is the first flag? This is the first flag. Fantastic. Now we need to give the server the key. Remember, our code was telling us that once we give the key, we'll be able to get the second flag. What is the key? Here is the key. Okay, and this is going to be different for you because TryHackMe is really intelligent platform, and it will generate new text strings for you, so you will probably not have the same key. Okay, congrats! This is the correct key. We got the second flag also. Look how easy this was. And there we go, friends. Yay! We did it together! Thank you so much for continuing to trust me to be your cybersecurity bestie. Together we TryHackMe. I really hope you had fun today. I really hope that you learned something new. And please let me know in the comments if you have any questions or if you have any things that you didn't quite understand and you want me to explain further. Or in general, if there are some things that you're really curious about and you want me to make a video on, I really enjoy listening to you because I don't want this to ever feel like a one-way conversation. We're in this together. I'm part of your learning journey, and this means so much to me. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button because we're going to have so many more fun walkthroughs and resources for you to make you successful in cybersecurity in 2026 and beyond. If this was fun, please also give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. These really help the channel. And thanks again, friends. I will see you in the next one.